Hi guys, Binny here with Beauty by Binny. Today's tutorial is all about contouring and highlighting. I've received a ton of requests to do a full foundation, highlight, and contour tutorial, and also to review the Kryolan concealer wheel that I used in my last few videos. Also, please follow me on Instagram. My username is @BeautyByBinny. Step 1. Prepping the skin. Start off with a clean face and apply moisturizer best suited for your skin type. Then apply a primer to help makeup stay on longer, and if you have really dry skin like me, spray on a few pumps of Max Fix Plus as well. So I'm going to be using just this Kryolan Dermacolor concealer wheel for my foundation, concealer, highlight, and contouring. Step 2. Highlight. I'm going to use the lightest color in my concealer wheel, which I have labeled number 5, and you want to apply highlighter to all the parts of the face that you would like to make stand out. This is usually in the central part of the face. I started out by highlighting under my eyes using a MAC foundation brush. I drew a V shape under my eyes, and then from the corner of the eyes I extended it like a check mark going towards my temples. Then I covered the frown lines and the corners or the sides of the nose. I also applied the highlighter over the center of my forehead and brought it down the bridge of the nose as well, and add a little bit under the lower lip and over the chin. Next, I highlighted right under the hollows of my cheeks, going down in a straight line. Step 3 is contouring. I will be using the darkest color in the concealer wheel, which I've labeled number 4. This color is going to go mostly on the outer parts of the face or the parts that you don't want light reflecting off of. I always start off with my forehead and temples, applying the contouring as close to the hairline as possible, and then I contour down the hollows of my cheeks and slightly curve the contour upward towards the nose. Next, contour down the sides of your nose to make it look slimmer, and lastly, contour under your chin or jawline area. If you're going to be wearing anything with a lower neckline, make sure you apply your foundation, contour, and highlight to your neck and décolleté areas as well. Otherwise, your face is going to look different than the color of your neck, especially in pictures. As far as the brushes go, I've used all Real Techniques foundation brushes and contour brushes for this, which in my opinion are the best brushes for cream products because they're synthetic, which makes the creams just glide on super easily. Step 4 is foundation. I've mixed numbers 1, 2, and 3 to make a color closer to my skin tone, and I'm applying a little bit into the parts that I didn't cover with the highlight or the contour colors. You only need a very small amount, and this is basically just being used as a transition color. Step 5 is blending. Now up till this point your face is going to look all weird, but I promise once you blend everything out it will give you beautiful results, so just focus on the final picture. I used 2 different Real Techniques brushes to blend out. I started blending out the highlight in small circular motions, first using a buffing brush over the forehead and then a smaller brush for under the eyes and the rest of the highlighted areas. Then I switched back to the larger buffing brush and blended out all the darker contoured areas. While I'm blending, I want to stress that this type of contour and highlight technique is the best suited for evenings, photo shoots, and basically any event where photos are going to be taken. This is definitely not for your everyday makeup look. Also, a lot of people were asking me where they can purchase this wheel from. I purchased the Kryolan wheel from a local makeup store here in Phoenix, but your best bet is going online because this is a German brand and it's not easily available in the US. So now you guys can see once the blending is done how different this looks compared to a standard one-tone foundation application. My skin has a highlighted and more glowing effect, especially in the central parts of the face and under the eyes. And my cheekbones look higher and even my nose appears thinner and more shapely. Step 6 is using a highlighting powder to set the highlighted areas in place. When using liquids or creams, always remember to set them with powder so that your makeup stays on longer. I'm using a MAC eyeshadow called Orb for under my eyes and the center of my forehead. Other great options are BENNY's banana powder for a more yellowish effect, or MAC's mineralized skin finish natural in medium or light. And if you have really dry skin under the eyes like me, don't over powder. Step 7 is using a contouring powder. My favorite is Blunt from MAC. Using a small Real Techniques contour brush, I'm going to apply this rich dark color all over the contoured areas, firstly into the hollows of my cheeks, into the hairline of my forehead and onto the temples, and then down the sides of my nose and also under my jawline and a little over the chin. A small amount of product goes a long way, so keep a light hand when applying the contouring, and this will make it look more natural and softer. So I want to share with you guys that my inspiration for this tutorial was Samir Kazami, who is a Lebanese makeup artist. My apologies if I'm pronouncing the name wrong, but I follow him on Instagram and I'm amazed by his contour and highlight techniques. You guys should definitely check out his work. Step 8 is using a setting or finishing powder that is either translucent or closer to your natural skin color. I know this seems like a lot of steps, but I feel like this really ties the whole look together. Also, if you have oily skin, you will need to do this step to matte out the T-zone. I dabbed a very small amount of this MAC loose powder in NC40 into a buffing brush, and I'm applying this over my forehead, and I'm also buffing this over the edges of the contouring to soften it. We don't want to leave any harsh or prominent lines when it comes to contouring, and just look at the difference that this has made. Step number 9 is bronzer. You can choose from a matte or shimmery shade or even a darker face powder, but be careful in your color selection because some bronzers can make your skin look muddy or ashy. The bronzer that I'm using is Refined Golden by MAC. Once again, I will be using the lightest hand when applying this and a very small amount of the product. I'm applying this over the forehead, cheeks, nose, and chin. Step 10 is using a shimmery highlighter. I'm using one by MAC Cosmetics. It's called Delightful, and I'm using an e.l.f. brush. Apply the highlighter above the highest part of the cheekbones, taking it up to the outer part of the brows in a C shape. I like to add some right over the apples of my cheeks as well, but if you have oily skin, you can skip that step. Next, highlight down the bridge of the nose and over the cupid's bow. In photographs, these highlighted areas are going to stand out more as light reflects off of them, and it's going to give your skin a dewy, glowing effect. Step 11 is blush, and I just need to take a second to show you guys how gorgeous and pretty and sparkly and cute this blush is. It's called Fuchsia Fusion by e.l.f. Cosmetics. It's a total dupe for NARS Angelica blush, but it's only for $3. The brush that I'm using is again by Real Techniques. It's their blush brush. Can you tell how much I love their brushes? Just smile and apply the blush from the apples of your cheeks going slightly upwards. And lastly, step number 12. Once all of your makeup is done, just spray a few pumps of setting spray to keep your makeup on all night. And that completes today's tutorial. I hope this was helpful and taught you a few new things. I know it's a lot of steps, but it works really great for special events and photographs beautifully. Please subscribe to my channel and follow at BeautyByBinny on Instagram. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you for watching Beauty by Binny. Take care. Mwah.